Okay, well, all right, well, let's talk about what it is first. I was going to start just rambling off and without introducing exactly what we're talking about. So it was two of them. It was called PBC Lights Out, which is a boxing docudrama. I keep using the same thing over in the scenario, so you can get familiar with it. Same format as HBO 24/7 and All Access, except the fact that it's not, it's not gritty, I guess, but still, it's informative, and I hope they have the budget to keep doing it because it helps fans, not myself, but other fans know who the boxers are. I actually like the way they did it. Now, first I was a little confused because, now let me tell you, PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, shows fights on Spike TV. So the week before the fight, they've been showing something called Corner to Corner, which has been airing on NBC Sports, and on Spike TV, Lights Out. And what it is both of those are docudramas about the fighters leading up to the fight. So basically, PBC Lights Out and PBC Corner to Corner are basically, you might as well say, the same thing. But tonight, April 17th, 2015, it is right now 12:02. It's actually April 18th right now, 12:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They did something different where the first PBC Corner to Corner, it was Keith Thurman, Robert Guerrero, Adrian Broner, and John Molina. That was a 1-hour episode. Then the first episode of PBC Corner to Corner was Andre Berto and Jose Zito Lopez, and it's crazy, I didn't forgot who the other fight on the card was. And then the most recent one, which was a week ago, a little over a week ago, you had Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson, and then Peter Quillen and Andy Lee, PBC Corner to Corner. So this week you have Anthony Dirrell and Badu Jack and Daniel Jacobs and Caleb Truax. So what they did with this one is, instead of having just a 1 hour, they split it into two different episodes, except one was called PBC Lights Out Corner to Corner, PBC Lights Out on Spike TV, and it focused on the four fighters and their bout. And then the second part, which actually followed immediately after, which also was a half an hour long, was called Never Give Up. And basically it was focusing on the fact that both of the guys who are who are headlining the card, Anthony Dirrell, who's fighting Badu Jack, 168-pound WBC champion of the world, and Daniel Jacobs, who is the WBA regular, remember, Gennady Golovkin has the recognized WBA belt. And basically what it talked about is Never Give Up is their issues and triumphs as far as beating cancer, both of them cancer survivors. Now I'm going to tell y'all some real shit. A lot of y'all may joke around and everything like that, but I actually had a cancer scare myself. I had a cyst. I'm trying to figure out the size of it, like right there on my balls. Not on my balls, because then that would have been cancerous, but it was a cyst on my vas deferens, to the point where like all on like this side of my body, like a sharp pain was shooting up and down. I started drinking a whole lot more. I never told people this story. My friends and family know this story, but I never told it on YouTube. And basically, this was I found out about this in 2012. What was it? No, in 2012. And basically, I didn't tell people about it. I was a little embarrassed and things like that. And a lot of people don't know. It started, I started drinking more and more and more. Let me rewind this back and see if I can get y'all a little bit of footage. Because, see, I was depressed. I was like, fuck, man, goddamn. And then, chicks going down there. I was like, what is that? But, it's over now, but still, that's something I never talked about before. So in a way, I can kind of relate. Because when you hear about you got a lump anywhere.
Therapy, and after the chemotherapy was done, it was radiation. Or they could have cut my chest bone open like a heart transplant and went in there and took it out. I didn't want nobody cutting on me and cutting me open. I don't think I would have been the same. So I went through the chemo. Boxing was out. Boxing never came into play. It was just getting better.
Anthony's decision to undergo chemotherapy and radiation proved to be a true hardship in his recovery.
And over here was where the port was at, like where they were always sticking with the needle and the medicine would drip in me. Got these marks right here from chemotherapy. chemo and then pull you down. It's dang near impossible for you to just keep fighting.
Some of these medications can have residual long-term side effects.
They never said that I would never box, but they told me it would be very hard. I was off 2 years. At the end, when I was doing the chemo, I was running, working out, trying to get back into the groove.
I didn't think he would box again until one day he was like, I feel like running, so I took him running, and he ran without stopping.
He was always positive. He always felt and believed that he was going to beat it.
Dirrell's positive outlook and determination to get healthy finally paid off.
The checkup was clean.
No cancer. He was healed.
And that's true, like I said, I went through, I found out that mine wasn't cancerous, thank God, but it was an embarrassing moment, like when you're, and real rap, I was still doing videos at this time. A lot of people didn't know, like, while I was coming on here, I started drinking more and more and more, but it's embarrassing, but also, like, it will mess you up mentally, because, you're afraid, you don't know how to tell your parents or your family, like, shit, I might have, like, like something that I may not be around anymore. But I look at it like this. Like I said, there's been a lot of stuff that, you guys don't know about me, and me doing YouTube, it's not for money, if it makes sense. Now, we all need money, and yes, for it to be legitimate, we gotta have money coming in, but I had a lot of fucked up shit going on in my life, man. So, actually what I said I was gonna do was, I'm gonna tell you the whole story around Mayweather Pacquiao, like probably the night before the fight, or the night of the fight, because I feel as though now that I've done so much, it's a good time and a good chance to tell you people why I really do YouTube. It's not to be famous. It's not for the money. Like I'm trying to prove a point to somebody, and plus I'm angry, if that makes sense. Angry in like a positive way, if that makes sense. So I actually enjoyed this show because when somebody's sick like that. And me, like, I don't like talking about it, but my father has a terminal illness. I listen, I can relate, so to see that these are two boxers, Daniel Jacobs, who had he said, a handball-sized tumor wrapped around his spine to the point where he couldn't walk, and then you have Anthony Dirrell, who had a lump in his chest, and he had to go through chemo, and chemo, my God, I hear it's the worst type of thing you could possibly go through, and you're always angry, and it's just a miserable feeling. You gotta have respect to see these guys fighting back in the ring. You got to, because both of these guys at one point in time told that they would pretty much never box again, or it would be probably impossible for them to ever box again. And then you look at what happened with poor old Paul Williams. Him. Damn, I want to listen to this, and I saw it already, but I rewinded it. Yeah, I'll let you listen to it. I'll let you listen to some more before we get.
I was going to kill myself. I was faced with.
Hold on, I rewound it. Danny Jacobs looked young. I mean, he looked different when he was younger.
The night before that, it might be some complications. I might not wake up.
While the surgery was successful, a complete physical recovery was still in doubt, and the odds of Jacobs ever returning to the ring were long, seemingly impossible.
The spinal cord is a very delicate structure. The physical challenges for Danny were significant. There was a possibility that he may not be able to get a lot of function back in his legs.
When I first heard those words, "You can't box, you might not walk again," it was heartbreaking. It was actually talking to me as if I was going to kill myself. I was faced with a harsh reality that I was human.
After surgery, Jacobs made up his mind to take destiny into his own hands.
I remember, being rolled back to my room and saying, you know what? The doctors has always told me I couldn't do this. That's when I set the goals high. I knew I was going to walk again and have a regular
Couple more seconds.
I owed it too much to my family.
When it was time to get back to learning how to walk, reality set in.
Taking my first steps. I showed my girlfriend and my family, and I said, look, guys, 1, 2 steps. And that was it. Everyone just around me wanted to help, and I was just like, no, I got it.
Fully committed to his comeback, the Brooklyn native forecasted the perfect date for his return to the ring.
I seen that the Barclays Center was going to be opening up in Brooklyn, and that they were going to be putting on the first boxing shows there. So I said, if I can get better, this would be my opportunity to perform and have my first fight back. That served as great motivation for me to prove everyone wrong and fulfill your dreams and get back into that ring.
But yeah, like I said, it's not no, yo, I'm going to leave it at that. But let me just say this. The fight's actually going to be on next Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're actually going to have someone covering all the events for the fight as far as we put in our media credentials for the fight. We're going to have someone covering the media day workouts, the press conference, the weigh-in, and basically, of course, I'm going to be, doing videos all throughout the week. Fight week predictions on both fights. Anthony Dirrell versus Badu Jack, and Daniel Jacobs versus Caleb Truax. I've covered all four of those guys before. I don't know what else is going to be on the card. I know it's going to be those two fights, but like they did with the other PBC on Spike TV card, they showed the Chris Arreola fight. So there may be 3 fights. I don't exactly know which one yet. But yeah, man, like if you hear like somebody have like cancer, that shit is for real. Or even if you hear, of someone having a lump in their body or having a lump in their body, that shit is no joke. It will mess you up. And it's hard to get you to understand unless you went through it yourself. Like I said, this is the first time I'm talking about this. But I had some real major issues in 2012. And with that, along with the fact that I was taking care of my father, who's terminal himself, and then I have a brother who's 32 years old, who's autistic, the mind of a 3-year-old, then found out that I was sick as well, But those days are behind me now. I'm just glad, thank God I'm here today. And one of the reasons why I feel like I'm so blessed to be in this situation right now is because of what I had to go through to get to this situation. So as I said, I'm going to tell you a nice story. I think Mayweather Pacquiao, the week of that fight will be a nice time to tell you that story. And what I'm going to do is I'm likely going to have an exotic dancer. How that'll work out is I'll open the show with her dancing, then I'll talk about the fight, then dance again, then talk about the fight, then dance again, she'll dance again, then, I'll start opening up. We're going to talk. So stay tuned. T Street Controversy is on some old break the internet type shit. And you're just going to have to wait and see. Please subscribe. T Street Controversy Live. You can check out the PBC Lights Out on online. They actually show them on their websites, because these are the times after I do a video like this, and especially since I posted on my Instagram and on my Twitter and on my Facebook, PBC Lights Out, come on Friday, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, PBC Lights Out. People don't listen. So if you want to watch it, you'll be able to watch it on the PBC website. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm T Street Controversy with RealCombatMedia.com. This is T Street Controversy Live. Also, major advancements and changes are coming. I can't put it no better than that. So, of course we're gonna still keep our picture of Al Heyman, but major things are happening. 16,000 subscribers, 8 months, 6-point-something million views, and God knows how in 8 months. T Street Controversy Live.